everyone, get ready with me while we talk about my accutane journey and just my skincare journey in general. Hi guys. So, I'm going to start off by doing my eyebrows really quickly. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Brow Lamination Gel. I don't love this, but I'm just finishing it, so I use it like on days that I don't care, like today's a Wednesday, So we're going to be talking about my accutane journey and everything that has happened in the last month. I'm gonna include photos. This is gonna be really hard for me, but I think that photos are really gonna show you like everything I've been through and like the journey and the timeline of everything. So let's start off. This begins in 2020. That's when I started to get acne. I was gonna turn 18 that year, so I started getting acne in January. I remember so clearly because I had never really had acne my whole life. Like my whole life, like as a teenager in high school, I never had acne until my senior year, like my last year, which luckily, you know, COVID started in March, so I was able to kind of just stay at home and not worry about it, but it was something that was bothering me, and so that's how it all started. I'm gonna put on my Bioderma SPF. This is in the shade Light. I do think it's a little kind of dark for me, but I'm almost done with it. It doesn't matter. You need to really shake it up. So during COVID, I started really getting into skincare, and I was learning about The Ordinary and all these different brands. So I purchased, I remember the glycolic acid, the azelaic acid, like I was doing everything. Is that too dark for me? Don't worry, it blends out anyways. So I was doing that, and although my skin would look better at times, specifically in the mornings, if you know, like when you have acne, when you wake up, you feel like you have clear skin, and then an hour later, you're like, it looks horrible. So I was really just doing like kind of skincare from the drugstore, from Sephora, stuff like that. And I think in like October, November, I was like, no, like I want to go to the doctor. And so I went, and the regular doctor, because so I lived in LA, and the way like my health insurance worked was like you go to your regular doctor, and then if they decide if they send you to the dermatologist. If not, like you can't really just sign up, you know? So she was like, okay, we're gonna try and doing tretinoin and clindamycin, or do you want like birth control? And I knew I never wanted to take birth control or any type of hormonal pills of some, like, yeah, I just didn't want to do anything hormonal. And so she gave me tretinoin and clindamycin, and that started to work a little bit. And I used it for 2 years, and it never went away. Like the acne never went away. It did keep me from having blackheads and you know, all these different things that tretinoin does, and it is beneficial, but it never stopped my acne ever. So it was the tretinoin with the clindamycin. The clindamycin helped a lot with the redness. It helped a lot with the redness, but it, like I said, it never went away. Okay, after I put on I'm gonna put on this YSL concealer, which, by the way, I don't love it. Don't spend $40 on this. I've never actually used it on my face, so we're doing that for the first time today. Just doing a few spots. So in the meantime, so I did the tretinoin and clindamycin, and I was eating really clean for about 2 years. So I did from 2020 to like 2022, and then I was just there like a dumbass, waiting for me to just wake up one day with clear skin And so then I went again to the doctor in like 2023, and I told them, like, can I please go to the dermatologist, like, look at my skin that I've been on tretinoin for 2 years, like, it's still the same. And the doctor deadass looked at me and she was like, you're fine. I was like, who's fine? Who is fine? She was like, well, you're like, I think I was like 20 or 21 at that time. And she just was like, yeah, it's your age. It's gonna go away with age. I was seriously like baffled at this point. So I was so distraught that a female doctor would just dismiss me like that. And I had other health issues and she also ignored them. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna find another female doctor. So that's what I did. I found another female doctor and I went with her, and I basically had to beg her to do some blood work and to send me to the dermatologist. And so we did the blood work. My hormones are completely fine, so it's not a hormonal problem. And so she was like, okay, like, we're gonna do the blood work so that when you get your appointment for the dermatologist, you know, the dermatologist is gonna look at it and, you know, he won't spend any time sending you, and so you just show up and, you know, you have all your things together and he'll like say what you need to do. And I was like, great, perfect. So I go to the dermatologist. I'm using the Pixie blush in the color Fleur. And the e.l.f. Putty Primer Applicator. It's my favorite brush for like cream blushes and stuff. And so I go to the dermatologist. It's a guy, doesn't pull up any of my blood work, and I was like, I'm gonna let him do whatever he thinks is best. Like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna let him, like, I want to see what he does, you know. And so this man looks at me, and I tell you, this whole consultation was 90 seconds. It was 90 seconds. Like, I took my mom with me because I was like, I need like another adult with me so I know I'm not being gaslighted. And so he just looks at me and he just like if this is me, he's just like, yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do spironolactone. Spironolactone is amazing. My clients love it. People are on it for 7 years, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, I have all the knowledge in skincare and all the possible solutions that doctors could give me. So I knew about tretinoin, I knew about Winlevi, I knew about spironolactone, accutane. Like, I knew about all these different things, obviously. So I was just like, Pookie, I don't want spironolactone because I give you my blood work and I don't have any hormonal issues. So if I don't have hormonal issues now, with the spironolactone, I'm for sure gonna have hormonal issues. So I just looked at him and I'm like, okay, sounds great. So I go home with the spironolactone and I don't take it. And I have an appointment in 3 months, like 3 months later. I wait 3 months. Sorry, my phone stopped recording. Anyways, so I went to the appointment 3 months later and I tell him this spironolactone isn't working for me, if I could please have accutane. And keep in mind, I took the spironolactone for 1 week. Like, I just did 1 week and then I was like, no, I'm done. And so when he walks in the door, he was like, oh my God, you look so much better. Like, the spironolactone is working perfectly. I love that for you. And I was just like, you idiot. I am not taking a single pill. Like, literally, he just looked so stupid, but I didn't tell him that, and I just never went back because I was moving. And so I was like, you know what, I will just get treated where I'm moving. And so fast forward, it's a year ago, in October last year, it got the worst it had ever been. I think it was because I moved, I was stressed, it was my first time living alone, and you know, just a lot of things, right? So it got really bad, but luckily I had a dermatologist appointment. And so this is my skin now, a year after going to the dermatologist here. And so I will tell you, it was a very long process, but I trust my dermatologist with my whole heart. She asks me about absolutely everything, my diet, my family history, like all these questions she asks, and she looks, and she doesn't just look at your skin with her eyes. She uses like a little like lupa. I don't remember what it's called. To identify what kind of acne you have, like are your periods regular or irregular. And so luckily I brought my blood work with me to my first consultation. So I was like, so she can look at it, and she did. And I also gave her a list of all the things I had already tried. And so she was like, okay, I need you to hear me out. She was like, I'm gonna give you a lot of things that you have tried out before, but you've never used them all together. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust you. Like, that's where I was at. And I spent so much money. I think I spent like $300 at my first consultation, like getting the skincare routine. But I was like, if I'm gonna spend money on one thing, it's gonna be on my skin. So, she gives me a routine, and keep in mind, I'm like eating really clean, like seriously, like extremely clean, organic everything. Like, I will say I was drinking oat milk, and I feel like the oat milk was making it worse. So the oat milk, I think, might have been making it worse. So, and that's when I asked her, like, hey, like, do you think I can drink cow's milk? Because the dermatologist in LA was like, don't drink any dairy, like no dairy. And I now eat full dairy everything. I eat cheese, yogurt, milk, everything. So my first appointment, we started with adapalene, tranexamic acid, vitamin C in the morning, SPF, this really great cleanser. I think I'm just gonna use this cleanser for the rest of my life. I seriously recommend it. It is literally so good. I'll insert my morning and nighttime routine just so you guys can get like a little understanding of how we were treating it. And so 3 months passed, and I had another appointment, and so she saw that it was not going down, and she also told me to write down every single day, every time I had a pimple. So I would write it down, and I had this chart, like a calendar type thing, and I was breaking out, because she calls them breakouts, like every pimple is a breakout. So I was getting like 2 to 3 pimples every day, and she's like, no, this is unacceptable. She was like, we're gonna look at starting accutane. And so she's like, go get your blood work done, and we're gonna start off with 20 milligrams every day. And that's how I started January 1st of 2025 with accutane. So if someone has never had acne in their life, they're not gonna understand what you're going through at all, like ever. I also never stopped wearing makeup because I knew my makeup wasn't the issue. My dermatologist did say, like, please, like, try not wear makeup, like maybe just wear makeup on the weekends or for special events. I would still wear a little bit of makeup, but that was because I knew my makeup wasn't causing acne, because I have been using the same makeup since like high school when I didn't have acne. So maybe if you are not like in a situation like that, maybe you should try and use very specific products that you know don't affect your skin, like, for sure. Oh, also another thing is that accutane makes your skin really thin, so I would get cuts and bruises really easy. And so I do have a rhinoplasty, and you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, like right here, kind of the stitches that I have inside my nose. So I went to my surgeon. He was like, no, it's fine, don't worry, it'll go back when you stop taking the medicine. So do keep that in mind. I do know now why people say that your nose shrinks after you take Accutane, but it doesn't shrink. It's just your I think it's the sebaceous glands, they get smaller, and so it kind of like makes everything tighter and thinner, so it makes your nose appear as small as possible, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'm gonna do a close-up for you guys. Like, I do have some scars, and like, you know, this isn't full coverage makeup, but I would have never been this close to a camera a year ago. Like, seriously, the way having clear skin affects your confidence is just an indescribable feeling, right? So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you guys have any questions, leave them down below. I'll try to answer them for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.